So I think everybody kind of understands that news is unhealthy for you in some sort of way. But I have a controversial view, and that is that news is only unhealthy, and there's no reason to actually watch it. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I think reading the news consistently is one of the stupidest things you can do. But I'll explain. I mean, think about it. The news really only baits you and manipulates you to react in a certain way. Trump sends out a tweet, people get angry, exposure. You've just given him what he wants, no matter if you hate him or not. Biden sends out a tweet, millions of people get angry, exposure. Elon Musk, exposure. Andrew Tate, exposure. This is advertising. This is what it's all about, baby. All eyes on me. Everybody look at me. I mean, by hating this guy, you paid him $40 million for beating up elderly people. By hating Temu, you basically referred them customers because you got their name out there. I did this. You did this. But we know we did this. Why are we still doing it? Also, just wanted to disclaim that I'm an idiot. You can see that already. So I'm not trying to make this an educational video. I'm just trying to make you laugh, share my opinions. If you can learn something from this, great, but we're not gonna get political at all. So let's get into it. I mean, first of all, have you realized the news teaches you nothing at all? And I was thinking about it when planning this video, what actually makes the news good in some sort of way, and it's that you learn things. You're reading about new world events, you're reading about, updates and news updates, you're learning things, but really, you're not. Learning is not just acquiring new information, that's called being educated. Just educated, that's the acquiring of new information. Learning is acquiring knowledge that will incite a new change in behavior or decision making, so some sort of information that'll actually incite change in you in some sort of way. Now, out of the numerous news articles that you've read in the past year, how many of them have actually helped you? I mean, give me a percentage. How many of them have actually informed your decision-making progress for the better process, I meant? Now, you may argue that they've helped you, and I won't immediately discredit what you're saying, but even if 1 out of 10 of the articles helped you, and that's being gracious, because we all know that's not a realistic number, that's only a 10% use on your time. I mean, right now I have 100% use on my time. When you're working, that's 100%. When you're scrolling Instagram, that's 0%. But 10% is not that much. And furthermore, it's getting you addicted, it's making you angry, it does nothing for you, and also it's useless. Because when you read a news article, they don't actually prioritize learning at all. They don't actually teach you things that you can learn from, that'll incite some new behavior. Why? Why don't they satisfy learning at all? Because that's not the point of the news. The point of the news is to be in the know, satisfy that FOMO. I mean, anything more than that is not really what we're asking for, right? We know that, for example, Trump's doing stuff with crypto. We know that he has policies towards crypto that'll probably make it go up. But we don't actually know crypto, do we? We don't understand it, and we're not investors. So why are we reading about Bitcoin in the first place? You just spent 30 minutes reading about Trump's crypto policies, and you weren't even an investor. You might as well scroll Instagram at that point. I mean, I think it's funny that so many more mature people than me will criticize me for scrolling on YouTube or whatever, and then I'll see them watching the news, and I'm like, oh, what are you learning? And then they tell me all the world events that are happening. No, but what are you learning? And they're not. They're not learning anything. For anyone with ADHD, don't worry, we're about to move on in a second, but just to further illustrate my point, take the following event borrowed from whatever that is. A car drives over a bridge and the bridge collapses. What does the news media focus on? The car, the person in the car, where they were coming from, where they were going, how they experienced the crash if he survived. But that is all irrelevant. What is relevant? The bridge. The structural integrity of the bridge. That's the underlying risk here, you see? Maybe they could fill you in on the structural integrity of certain states. Maybe they could fill you in on just general bridge safety. I don't know. But anyways, they focus on the car, the person in the car, because it's a non-abstract object. They can focus on it pretty easily. It's flashy, it's new, it's news, it's cheap to produce. And it gets attention, and that's what this is all about, baby. And what is attention really to these people? Money.
Hello, I like money.
When I open up the YouTube Analytics app for this YouTube channel, I see all sorts of analytics telling me how engaging my videos are, and my past channels have done the same. Everybody has this, every YouTuber has this. Do you think it's any different for the news? And attention to these people is money. That's how they make their money. The more you pay attention to them, the more the advertising money flows in. That's how it works. And am I criticizing that? No, that's how YouTube works. I'm not monetized yet, but when I am, that's what I'm gonna focus on.
I like money.
But the difference is that I'm not gonna sacrifice what I'm talking about just for the money, and that's what the news companies do. And if you think about it, that's what you want. You want that. Now, the 2 points already discussed should by themselves just convince you to not watch news anymore. I wouldn't touch news with a 10-foot pole anymore. Now, an 11-foot pole. Fret not, because if that doesn't convince you, there's more. Of course there's more. There's always more. Third of all, it's unhealthy. It's a very unhealthy thing to do. Hey guys. Sorry. Do you guys like these scene changes? This one might not be the most comfortable, but, you know, I'll change positions. But do you like these? Because it's fine if you don't. I kind of need to know, so I don't keep doing this if it's annoying. The news constantly triggers the limbic system. Panicky stories spur the release of cascades of or cortisol. This deregulates your immune system and inhibits the release of growth hormones. In other words, your body finds itself in a state of chronic stress. High glyceride levels cause impaired digestion, lack of growth, which is cell, hair, and bone growth. I didn't even know news did that. That's crazy. Basically, you're stunting your growth by reading news. You got nervousness, susceptibility to infections. The other potential side effects include fear, aggression, tunnel vision, and desensitization, the four of which are the most common. I mean, doesn't that just sound like terrible? Like, don't you just not want to read the news now? And the thing is like, I've never read the news because I've always observed these things. I didn't need to look that up. I just knew that like fear, aggression, tunnel vision, and desensitization, those are common sense. Like, that's gonna happen if you consistently watch the news. Don't you not want that? Why would you want that? And lastly, about the unhealthiness, the more you read the news, the more you think about it. And in what way, what world does that actually help you? I mean, we've all heard the old adage, what you put in comes out, and also out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. But the fact of the matter is this applies to everything, including the news. So if you're reading more news and that's what you're gonna think about, wouldn't you rather want to do that with like the Bible or sermons or some sort of literary thing where you can learn from? Instead of reading Fox News or CNN or the Daily Wire, you can be reading something that's actually smart and teaches you something. And that's what you're gonna think about more and more. You're forcing yourself to a thought life of just news, news, news. And in no way can that ever be helpful. Now for this next point about why news is stupid, for this next point, it's like, I'm the most excited about this. This is what inspired the entire video, was that news baits you. You are a fish, you're a fish. You eat bait. I don't know. All of the news, the information, the way it's provided, the headlines, the people, the drama, biases, it's all meant to produce engagement, and it's all in a manipulative way as well. You are a fish. A fisherman has put out his bait and you have bit it. You've been caught, you've been got, and now you're gonna get taught by me. You know this guy? His name is Trollface. Now keep him in your mind for a second, it'll make sense. Imagine this, a fisherman is in a boat, he's traveling a few miles an hour and he wants to do some fishing. He baits his hook and he throws the bait out there and he leaves the bait. He doesn't try to reel it in, he just leaves it. I mean, the boat's moving, he doesn't need to. This technique is called trolling. It's where you just leave the bait behind the boat and you keep going. This is actually where we get the internet word trolling from. You know, where you bully people online and rebrand it as a joke. I love it. But here's the thing, that fisherman did absolutely no work, which in my opinion is the only way to make fishing fun. But that fisherman's name is Andrew Tate. He just thought of the first provocative thing that came to his head. He typed it down, hit post, and waited for people to bite. Millions did. Andrew Tate is a troll. He does something extremely stupid and something that everybody will get pissed off at, very contrarian worldviews, and then people bite his bait. It gives him exposure, and it's how he's become one of the most famous people in the entire world. You get baited left and right. This is my left and my right, but it would be like left and right for you anyways. You get baited all the time, from low quality YouTube videos to controversial worldviews to gay Disney characters. You get baited all the time, and then you talk about it and other people talk about it and you get really mad, and then boom, publicity. There was a great video that I watched a little while ago, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why I watched it, but it looked like it was filmed on a calculator. But here's exactly how he explained this a little bit better, because he's smart and I'm not.
I remember like when I used to use Facebook like 8 years ago, if an advert really annoyed me, I would screenshot like a bit of the advert and I would post to Facebook and I would talk about how much the advert annoyed me, right? I'm doing exactly what they want. They want me to be annoyed at. Me being annoyed at it means I'm going to talk to other people about how annoying the advert was, but they haven't seen the advert, so they don't know the annoying bit. So the fact that it was annoying is just going to melt away out of their brain. And what's going to be replaced is the product, the thing.
Ask yourself this, do you want to be a fish? Actually, that doesn't sound that bad. It sounds like a pretty nice life. But do you want to get caught? Do you want to get got? Probably not. So why do we keep doing it? Clickbait, trolling, it's all very common, and I think we know what it is. But we keep biting. So the next time that you see something that like pisses you off, just shut up, you know? Reacting to something and commenting on a news article or responding to a tweet is one of the most pathetic things you could do, to be honest. I mean, if you're providing some sort of valuable information, or if you're agreeing with someone or saying something positive, that's cool. But don't react. Don't get pissed off at these things. It doesn't matter. You know that none of this matters. And nothing you can say will get these people that you hate to actually change their minds. So stop talking. One of the very mainstream relevant examples of baiting is the whole Logan Paul fight. Like, even going into that, we knew the whole thing was rigged. right? The whole bait was just like completely stupid. The whole beef between Logan and Mike Tyson, it was like, what are we doing here? And this is something that you probably responded to, or at least were interested in some sense. You at least had some conversation with someone else about how it was stupid and how these people shouldn't be fighting and how you think Logan's gonna win or Mike Tyson is gonna win. But then you kind of sit back and think and you're like, I don't even like wrestling or fighting. I don't even like the two guys. I've never been interested in them in my entire life until now. People advertised to you and you immediately bought it. You haven't thought seriously about Mike Tyson for a while, let alone be actually interested in him. You haven't thought about Logan Paul other than like the stupid things that you see on news headlines. You don't care about him. But these people were so good at advertising and marketing this whole fight. Logan Paul made 40 million. Mike Tyson made 20 million. Both of those were because you hate Logan and you knew it was happening, yet you bit anyway, so stop. Another pathetic example of baiting is rap beef. And I know that's gonna piss some people off because like a lot of people get really into rap beef and I do not understand that, to be honest, but it's a really good example of baiting because you were getting baited left and right in those things. Take Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, for example. You know, how you gonna name yourself after a darn gun and have a man bun? Eminem profited greatly off of that. I mean, he was already established, but like he definitely got some more viewership and it was just publicity. Like all of this is publicity, and that's exactly what he drew off of that. In his own words, if you had a chance to grab everything that you've ever wanted, would you take it? For a rapper, rap beef is a perfect example of how to seize everything you've ever wanted and get some viewership. That's what this is all about, baby. Also, Drake and Kendrick, of course, I'm sure lots of you watching this right now have been baited and scammed into actually paying attention to that. If you want to hear me make fun of some more rap beef, you can go and watch this video. I talk about rap beef in it, but anyways, I just think it's such a pathetic and stupid example of baiting. It's so stupid. These guys are certified fishermen, certified betaphiles. Wop, 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 dot, bait 'em up. Here are some good examples of rappers building their career off of beef. You're gonna get pissed off at some of those examples, I know, but it's just true. You know when you were younger, like maybe in elementary school or even middle school or high school, you had that like annoying kid that wouldn't leave you alone, and he would like say things to piss you off, but then you'd realize after a while, just don't give him attention and then he'll go away. How did we lose that? Where did we lose that somewhere along the way of growing up? Like, how did we lose that completely? Because it's the same concept. It's like, just don't give them attention and they'll stop doing it. And what conclusion can we draw from that? Attention is why they're doing this. I just, while recording this video, like between the last scene and this scene, I watched a Ludwig video on some Elon Musk drama about him claiming to be a good player at Path of Exile. This is the video right here, and I watched it. And I realized during the entire thing, I'm being baited. I mean, it's just a testament to show exactly how like blind we are to people like manipulating us. This happens constantly. Pay attention for it and you'll actually be sick of yourself. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Just kidding, no one loves me that much, but you believed me for a second. Why? I mean, I'm a very small YouTuber. Yeah, I'm sure some of you at least believed me because Raid Shadow Legends is so big. They've sponsored so many people. They've built their brand off of being the annoying company. No one likes them, but people play them. And it's because people like you and me hate the sponsors and we make jokes about it. I mean, it works. Beyond just the viewership from sponsors, the chatter and the banter between friends about how much Raid Shadow Legends sucks pushes some people to actually go try the game. Dragon City also, like them sponsoring a bunch of people. Air Up was a complete scam. I bought into it as well. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is just like the Disney movies. Like they're obviously baiting us. You know, they lose all this money, but they get so much publicity. The numbers show that it's definitely not worth it for them, but they show that to them it is worth it. They just want publicity, exposure, advertising. That's what these people want. They'll make bad movies as long as they keep like their little core audience and everyone around that core audience still gets really pissed off. Disney is forcing you to chatter about them. In fact, they're not really forcing you. You could easily just shut up about them, but you don't, because you don't like The Little Mermaid is black. There's no reason to do that, and we all know why they did it, but they did it, and they got you to talk about it, and they got everybody around you to talk about it, and now people are watching The Little Mermaid, even though they know they're probably not gonna like it.
Oh, she's just like me!
The Lightyear movie with the gay kiss, they did that for obvious reasons. And I'm pretty sure I remember seeing something about Disney actually admitting that they do these things, some of these things to provoke audience, to get them to engage. I don't remember where I saw it, so take it with a grain of salt, but I'm pretty sure someone at Disney actually admitted to that. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I think I've rambled enough in this video, and I don't know why you watched it, but you know, you made it this far, so subscribe and share the video so other people can hear my very sexy voice. Anyways, bye-bye.